Hey, this is Judgment Waits bringing you some hardcore team deathmatch on one of the new DLC maps called Studio. This is, of course, firing range reskinned. I kind of want to talk about that reskinning here in a minute, but I wanted to tell you once again, I have my entire class set up there on the right, and I added my score streaks that I'm using. As you can tell, I'm using the VSAT, Dogs, and Swarm, which you have never seen me use these in a video before, so we'll have to see what happens with those. And finally, I also wanted to talk about feedback that you guys gave me on my last video about my 5 ideas or suggestions for hardcore. But let's talk about the reskin first. Obviously, like I said, this is a reskin of the map firing range. Now, what do you guys think about having to pay for that? On one hand, Treyarch obviously had to spend some money for somebody to reskin this, and maybe it's more than one person, probably is more than one person involved. So they've got some money into this reskin, and it's probably perfectly fair of them to charge us for it. On the other hand, I think it would just be awesome goodwill to give away some of these maps every once in a while for free. You know, the most popular maps from Black Ops 1, let's reskin them and give them to everybody for free every so often. I think just a lot of people would appreciate that. Okay, well, maybe some people would appreciate that, but I think by far the community would see that in a positive light. And you know, you have a lot of people that complain about greed of companies nowadays. You know, that would go a long way to counteract those ideas. So let me know what you guys think about that and about the whole reskinning and everything in general. Now, I wanted to talk about the feedback that I got from my last video. Boy, there was a ton of feedback on there. Some of you guys liked all 5 suggestions that I had for hardcore. Some of you guys hated all 5 suggestions that I had for hardcore. And some of you guys were in between, liked some of it, didn't like some of it. Some of you guys had your own ideas that were really good or pointed out different things. You know, I just really appreciate how respectful everybody was with posting what they did. So I want to thank you for everybody that responded. Hopefully Treyarch gets to see that and will take some of that into consideration. You know, one thing that I failed to say was, you know, my ideas come from the idea of trying to get more people to come over from the core world and play hardcore. If we can get hardcore to grow, then a lot more things are going to happen. So that's why a lot of my ideas had it going in that core-ish direction, and a lot of that has to do with me playing both core and hardcore. You know, when I come over to hardcore, there are some things that I miss and some things that I'd like to see. So you guys had some great counterpoints though, and some great points yourself, so I really, like I said, just appreciate that. Now, as I was talking about before, here is the VSAT. Managed to pick that up. Like I said, I don't normally run these score streaks, and there's a reason why, and that is because normally I can't pull them off in hardcore with my play style. If I were to play more tactically, like if I were to do this on carrier, I could probably hit these more often, but it's just so difficult in hardcore when you die so easily. And I tell you what, these EMP grenades are driving me nuts. I couldn't call in my dogs right there. I couldn't even use my VSAT. You know, that was just nuts. I should have just laid down right here. I'm just kicking myself for not laying down and getting that 16th kill. I don't know if you need 16 or 17 for dogs, but it had to have been close. But like I said, normally I just cannot pull off these score streaks, so that's why I tend not to run them. If you don't have a great start in team deathmatch, it is very hard to get these. You know, if you die early on, chances are you are not going to be able to get to them by the end of the game, especially when you have people on your team that are good players like Babs and who are going to get a bunch of the kills. You know, if I was running by myself, it probably would be easier, or I probably would do better running these score streaks, but I like to run the ones that I can normally get to, so that's why you see me running UAV, Hellstorm missiles, stealth choppers. I can get to those pretty regularly, and those things are going to help my teammates out, where with these, you know, they will help my teammates out if I can get to them, but it's just not going to happen that often. Now, somebody here recently just said I should drop the VSAT and go with the stealth chopper. I was actually thinking about dropping the Hellstorm missile and going UAV, stealth chopper, and then the VSAT. I don't know. I might start playing around with that because I've been looking for something a little different. But this video is done, or the match is done. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about what I said about the reskinning and everything like that. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, though, feel free to give it a thumbs down and let me know what you don't like about it. But as always, take care and God bless.